Hello, everybody. It is Friday, and we are here with another Straight Talk. I got Shannon to my left again by the looks of it, and RG to my right. We're not going to talk about the ones behind us because they don't matter. How are you ladies doing today?
Excellent. Just delighted to be here.
Happy it's Friday.
It looks like we all have sun today, too. Like, it
Yes,
doesn't.
We do.
We all got some good weather. We got to celebrate that while we got it.
I'm excited. We have such a
Yeah.
short season in Alberta. We know that. So give me all the sun.
Every day. Yes. So we've all had a really busy week this week, and this time we all kind of got our own little topics to talk about. So Shannon had a big week relaunching some of her older companies. She's bringing them back up. So she's going to do a little bit of chat with all of us about branding and that sort of thing because that's absolutely her niche and she loves it. Miss RG did an amazing webinar yesterday, guys. I got so much value from it. She's going to do a little bit of talking about that. And you know me, I dug into the, wheel of algorithms and all that. And I got some updated info on the difference between good metrics, organic metrics, and those pesky little vanity ones that everybody preaches on, but they don't really give you what you need. So, RG, how about you start us off today and give everybody a little insight into this webinar and where they can get it?
Okay. So the webinar is free and it was called More Than Just a Wheel. And I want to tell you why I did this. So I was visiting with a group of women a couple of weeks ago, and I announced that I was doing this Her Life Legacy and was, explaining a little bit about it. And they're like, well, we know what legacy means, but what's the rest of what's your program? And when I said, well, I'm going to do this webinar called More Than Just a Will, and in there I'm going to explain to you what exactly a legacy is. So I'm going to start you with an old Irish phrase today. It's called be prepared when the luck comes.
I
Now,
like that.
I don't look Irish, but I am Cherokee and I am Irish. So I'm often throwing some Cherokee wisdom out there. So be prepared when the luck comes. That luck could be your last day on earth, and you could go to your next phase. We're not talking religion here, so if you believe in heaven, which I do, I think I would be very lucky to get there. So, but there's so much more to just waiting on the luck to come. You need to be prepared, okay? So, in my More Than Just a Will, I talk about what legacy really means. Yes, you need a will / trust, LLC, some legal document to put things all together. Um, you're going to have a special attorney that does that for you. I can work with you and guide you to get a lot of that ready and itemized, and you just go to an attorney. I can even help you find the right attorney to do this. And so that could save you bukus of dollars just working with me to get that part set up. But there's so much more than just the legal paperwork that you need to think about. When you think about legacy, most people think, well, financial legacy, am I going to be able to leave my kids or my grandkids money? Or I'll put air quotes around this stuff. Your wedding ring, your china, your silver, whatever you have. In Nikki's case, I think it's spoons and salt and pepper shakers. Now, Shannon, I'm not sure about. And me, it could be a whole bunch of stuff because my house is full of, as Bobby says, junk. Well, it's not junk to me.
No.
And I have a very special spot that I want my stuff to go, including my little Park Lane jewelry. But there's just so much more than just stuff. I have 6 pillars that I talk about in this webinar, and I try briefly to explain each of those pillars, like family stories. They're so important. Generational things that you do. So in this webinar, you're going to get to see a whole bunch of personal, or hear a whole bunch of personal stuff about me, about our family, some of the crazy things that we did as a family. And spiritual is one of the pillars. Are you a spiritual person? And it doesn't matter what religion, or if you have a religion or whatever, but your family needs to know about that. And when I say genealogy and generational genealogy, I was almost 45 before I knew that I had Cherokee blood. My grandfather, Papa, who I was very, very close to, held that very close to his heart. And we always had the little porch swing chats. And one day we got off the porch and we went for a long walk on the ranch. And we came upon this little piece of property down close to the river. And he said to me, "Sis, make sure when I'm gone that nothing happens to this property because our ancestors are buried here." Of course, I'm like, huh? What do you mean? He said, "Well, we have Cherokee ancestors." And I'm looking at him going, "And why am I just now hearing this? I had no idea that I had Cherokee blood." He said, "Well, it was taboo, sis. And back in the day, we didn't want anyone to know that we had Cherokee blood." Well, that just set a fire under my tail. And I started doing research, and I found out that my third great grandmother was full blood Cherokee and a princess from Cherokee, North Carolina. And I was like, whoa. And then I started looking on for the Irish side, and I'm thinking, how come I didn't get any of that Indian blood? I got all the Irish stuff. So I started digging there. And so far, I haven't found those ancestors yet, even though I've been to Ireland twice. But my son and his children don't have a clue about any of that. So I'm going to let them know. And the family stories, I told another thing about, the porch swing chats and those types of things. My kids, my grandkids, and my future great grandkids, whatever, will never know Papa unless I introduce him. They'll never know my Granny Archie unless I paint that picture, write those stories, and I mean physically write those stories and tell them about the wonderful life we had growing up down the Frost Lane. Now, I will say this, Nikki got to see that Frost Lane.
Yes, and it was amazing. I
She
actually took a few pictures too, because me and photos, I had to. When it's not photos of me, I'm good.
Yeah, but it is a beautiful, beautiful place. It's a beef cattle ranch that's been in our family for over 138 years.
Yeah.
My kids don't know that story either. So, when you stop and think about this, there's so many things other than your legal piece of paper and your diamond rings and your silver and stuff that you want to share with your family. So I highly encourage you to go watch that webinar. And then there's some links on there if you would like to work with me one-on-one, ask me questions, whatever. That is available later. So Nikki's going to give you an opportunity to get the link to that webinar. Yes, it went live yesterday, but it's going to stay up. The recording is going to stay up for you to watch. And if for nothing else, just get on there to hear my stories, because mercy me, I've got a lot of them to tell. There you go.
Well, and I know because I watched it as well. And, there was a lot of things in there that made me think different about the legacy I want to leave for my kids. Our family's actually coming up on a huge anniversary here in Canada. My mom reminded me that September 1st is the 50-year anniversary of my German family, my German heritage coming to Canada. So, like my mom and her sisters and my Oma and Opa, like they all came together. And September 1st is our 50-year anniversary here. So, it's little things like that that we really need to put in places where it can be handed down to future generations, because let's face it, not everybody in their 20s is interested in where their history is, but by the time they hit their 30s and their 40s and their 50s, all of a sudden they're going, oh, I sure wish I knew that.
Mhm.
So kind of what I got from you was that if I start putting those things in place now, whether I'm here or not, those legacies will be available, to my children and grandchildren and so on and so forth. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's so important to leave that for our children. I know my aunt did a lot of the heavy lifting on our side. So we have a Ukrainian background. My great grandparents were the ones that came to Canada. And I barely remember my great grandmother, like barely. And she put together an amazing recipe book that is, I believe, 5 generations with photos. And she figured out, the old recipes were a pinch of this and a dash of that. Well, she converted them all, tested them all, wrote them in a fantastic book. I have one for each of my children, and what a legacy to pass on. So it's so important. Go over, take a look at the webinar. You'll get very useful information from it.
And Shannon, might I just say, I would love to have a copy of that book. I know I'm not connected, but I would love to know about your background as well as Nikki's German background. And Nikki, if you have a German recipe book, bring it on.
Oh, I don't know. My mom might be watching this, and if she is, I might need a little comment here. Um, and yeah, we might need to work something out. So, um, quick side note, all three of us, we are working on personal books ourselves. So, not with our brands, some are more personal. We all have many, many projects on the go, guys. So, when I say these three, like the three of us are on the go all the time, um, we're literally on the go all the time. Not everything is going to be launching or dropping within a week. Some of these are passion projects that might take us 6 months or a year to get worked out. Some are going to be sooner. I know some things could be dropping as early as next week if we can get all our ducks in a row. But we all have we have some big things coming up, and it's around where our heart is, which is giving value and really helping empower other women to follow their goals, leave a legacy, become authentic, show up authentically, whether it's in business or it's in personal. I mean, RG and I currently work from home full time. Shannon has a full time job. So we're all coming from different angles here. And, we're really trying to see where you're coming from and where you want to go in whatever way, that may come. So, Shannon, what about you and reviving this A&J Decals? I know it's actually part of the reason Shannon and I met, I don't know how many years ago. It's been a minute because I think it was like
Yeah,
2007, 2006. We're pushing that 20-year mark now, I think.
easily. Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. So A&J Decals was created after my children, Alicia and John. So we shortened it to A&J Decals. And we look after everything to do with marketing, merchandising, decals or decals in the US. Um, Anything that you can basically think of, I will work with you to bring that project to life. Unfortunately, when I had my cancer, as we talked previously, we did shut down the business for a little while. Obviously, it just was not doable. But it's always been a love of mine, and I'm so happy to say it has been revived in 2025. So I just want to give a couple of tips today on your Facebook. First of all, profile picture and logo that goes with it if you have a business, that you want to come across as that visual handshake. This is the person's first interaction with you. This is how they're going to visually picture or trust you and know what your business is. So make sure it's memorable, something that just strikes and lets them know who you are as a business and who you are as a person, because remember, this is your business, so it should also be your passion and also the face of the business. So try and check off all the boxes, and if you need a hand, Nikki and myself are happy to help you. And you can reach out, PM for questions. We're here to just help ladies, and not just ladies in business, but that's our main goal, is to really just have a sisterhood and an open place to bring things and bring that personality too. That's important.
Absolutely. I mean, personality really brings in that authenticity, right? And you want, I still remember when we did RG's Little B for her life legacy, and the excitement in her voice, that it was something that had just been plucked out of her mind and she didn't even know it was there, you know. And then all the dominoes started coming into play. So like RG herself, she has a testimonial to when you get that branding that's just you. It gets those creative juices flowing. It gives you that, pick me up. You stand a little taller, you show up a little bit louder, because it's you. And it's not just something that somebody whipped together over Chat GPT. And I mean, some graphics and stuff that come from Chat GPT, I will say they are getting better. But when
If
you get
you
that,
train it, sorry to
if you
interrupt, but if you train it properly and give it the right information, please don't
absolutely.
just go to Chat GPT and expect a proper logo.
No. And I mean, I've been working with RG as well, even programming her Chat GPT. So now when she goes to it and says, "Okay, I'm looking for this or I'm looking for that," it's 99% done. It only needs a couple of tweaks here and there, but it actually speaks in her language. But I mean, that's taken us months of work back and forth to really get it trained in.
So
You know,
let
and
me just throw in one little thing there, Nikki.
yes, ma'am.
I named my Chat GPT Papa because Papa's been guiding me for a long time. So he understands me really well.
Yes. And mine's actually called Roxy, which is kind of funny, but I had a full-on conversation with my Chat GPT a couple months ago, and I'm like, "What do you want to be called?" So, there's lots of fun things you can do with Chat GPT as well. And if you want to know if your Chat GPT understands who you are, go in there and say roast me. Okay? Just simply go in there and say, "Hey, Chat GPT, roast me." And if everything it spits out, you're like, "That's not me," I'm telling you, your Chat GPT doesn't understand you. I do it, and it's like, oh, gut punch here. One minute I'm laughing. The next minute I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I do that. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll work on that." You know, So if you want to know if you've got your Chat GPT on point, just ask it to roast you. If you feel brave, feel free to record it and send it to us. Um, who knows? Maybe one of these days we'll get together and we'll just do a big old Chat GPT roasting session on here. You know, it is fun. But again, and it might sound silly, guys, but it is a really good way to see if your chat GPT really does know you. If it's not pointing out things that you need to work on, and it's making you sound 100 times better than you feel you are, you're not inputting the right information. I know I need that love, that tough love now and then. We all do, I think. We get into this world where we're so busy that we just don't see our own faults because we're so, up on, well, I've done this and this and this and this. Well, I was a bodybuilder in high school. If I even attempted to go lift the weight that I did in high school, I don't think my bones would manage. Okay.
Let's not
So
do that.
let's not. Life changes, guys. And just because you were able to do something 20 years ago, 30 years ago, doesn't mean that you can do it today. Does that mean that you can't get to a point where you can do it? Absolutely. But you got to rework those muscles and you got to flex those muscles again. And ChatGPT is a good way to point out what you got to work on a little bit. I know RG and I did it in the hotel when we were in Dallas together for the Plexus commercial or conference, and we were just laughing and giggling, and we're like, oh yeah, okay, gotta maybe that's gotta go on the to-do list a little bit.
I so wish I was there with you ladies. We would have had a blast.
Yeah, we had several things added to that to-do list.
Yes, I know. I remember.
Yeah. Shannon was getting the cliff notes the whole trip. Okay, we've added this, we've added this, we've added this. She's like, I've got my notepad. Just keep them coming. We'll deal with this all when Nikki's back in Canada.
And anyone who knows me, my Believe book.
So I did want to touch on metrics. You guys know I'm kind of the geeky girl, and I kind of dive into these things. RG has been a really good sport, and she's been testing some things for me too on social media. And it's not just a 1 week thing. We've been running this for quite a few weeks, actually a couple months now. I know Shannon's looked into it a little bit so that it's not just me seeing it. There's some background to it. Because generally I don't like coming to you guys with absolutes unless I have proof. You'll hear a lot of coaches, a lot of them, like your own stuff. Make sure you're commenting, not just once, comment multiple times, because people will see those metrics and they'll check out your posts. The reality is social media is not pushing them out. Instagram, yes. So if you're liking your own posts on Instagram, it does still tend to push it out a little bit. Comments don't really affect the metrics. Facebook, it's actually hurting you. RG, for example, absolutely full stop, hasn't been liking her own post, isn't commenting unless the post itself says, I'm going to drop the link in the comments, which you always want to do. Posts with links do not get pushed out to social media at all. They just don't. Unless it's a group or an event. Sometimes Facebook will push those through. Generally, if it's an off-platform link, it needs to go in your comments. Running to 15 different pages and liking your post from all your pages and everything else doesn't help either. It actually hurts it, because what that's telling Facebook is that only business pages are going to like your content. We need to get organic reach. And when you get that organic reach, that's when you start seeing 5 likes from people you haven't seen in a while, right? Now, 5 organic likes are worth way more than 10 vanity metrics. The vanity metrics are when you are actively going and giving yourself those metrics. That's what we consider vanity metrics. That's what Facebook considers vanity metrics. It's no different than hiring bots to like and comment on your stuff. If you're doing it yourself, unless it's warranted, Facebook sees it no different. Now, when people are commenting on your stuff, please reply to them. Take the time, like, love, react to their comments, even if it's just saying a thank you or posting a GIF or something, because you do want to interact with your audience. But to go and fire up your own comments on your own posts, Facebook hides them. She, whoever's in charge of the magic button, turns your post off and it's not showing up in people's news feeds. I know there's the @everyone thing on social media. There's @followers. Guys, if it's super, super important, I mean, super important, it's not a buy with me. It's not, it's not a spammy post that you wouldn't walk up to every single person in the grocery store and say, hey, I found out XYZ. Okay. So if there's something local going on, you have a lot of local people on your news feed. Say there's a fire outbreak. We've had that. There's tornado warnings in the area. There's flash floods. There's a missing child that is legit. Let's still keep an eye on those, because there's still so many of those that are floating around that are scammy and they turn into rentals. Then yes, tag @followers. Okay. But if you're not going to walk out, if you walk into a grocery store and you wouldn't tell every single person in that grocery store, this is what's going on, maybe it's not worth the @everyone. Maybe it's not worth the @followers. If you're doing a giveaway in a group, yes, that makes sense because you don't want people to miss out. But if you use it all the time, and I know I've done this because in the last 2 months, I have easily hit the little 3 dots that says, nope, do not give me notifications @everyone. Because I was getting them daily. And when you're in a lot of groups and every group is hitting @everyone and every business page is tagging @followers, people don't want to see that. And as a business person, you start missing out on actual notifications from Facebook that you would want, right? So you have to look at it as, if someone tagged me in this and I got the notification for @everyone, a lot of times I click on them. And if it's something I'm not interested in, or it's just another hoorah that means nothing to my world, I'll go back in and I'll just close out of that notification.
You're nicer than me. I won't even look at them. I get so
Yeah.
frustrated with the @everyone's or @followers. I get so many, and I ignore them when I go through my newsfeed.
I do too. Yeah.
Well, and the problem is, guys, if we're doing that, it's messing up other people's notifications. So if they are actively following you and they have been actively following your group, you don't know what their notices are. They might have it already set that they get a weekly digest on your group, or they get a daily digest on their group. That was one of the things that I find most frustrating when I take the time to go into a group and I set the notifications so I get all, right? And then I'm getting all the notifications, but I'm also getting, @everyone's on top of it, or @followers on top of it. It becomes spammy. I feel like it's the new "Hey girl" message on social media. It's that
I feel it's icky.
it is. It's that passive aggressive, look at me, and people are tired of it. I have lost many, many notifications because I'm not on social media 24/7. I have it set in my time blocking. I check my notifications twice a day. I have a 20 to 30 minute time block. I go in, I do that. Does that mean, sorry, that I'm not, I got reels playing in the background? I got those on the go all day long. I'll have stories on the go all day long while I'm working. I have a spicy brain. It needs distractions while I work. Okay. So I might be showing that I'm online all the time, but I tell you, I'm not checking those notifications any more than twice a day. Unless I've made a post and I'm expecting a lot of feedback, then I'll take the time. But most people are like that. They're not checking their notifications every 5 minutes. So they get home from work, or they get home from picking up the kids, or they're sitting at the kid. I know kids aren't in school right now, but maybe your kid's at a sporting event. You're engaged in the sporting event. You're waiting for the kids to change. You're checking your notifications real quick. Well, if they've got 15 notifications from you, because you've at everyone your page, you've at everyone your group, you've at everyone your, other group, because let's face it, most of us have multiple groups that we're admins on. I mean, I personally have, I think, 8 or 9 at this point that I'm an admin on, let alone the ones that I'm active in, right? And if all these notifications are going out, I just close my Facebook because I'm like, I'll do it later. And then I don't. Because ain't nobody got time to spend an hour a night going through their notifications on Facebook.
Exactly. So true, Nikki.
And we've
It has
seen
changed.
it really has. Even so, of course, I ran the numbers. The reach, the number of unique users who have seen your content. So let's be clear, gone are the days of playing somebody's reel over and over and over and over and over again and to beef it up. Okay? Facebook's like, nope. Instagram's like, nope. TikTok's like, If they watch it all the way through, that's where that metric comes in, and it's good. They also take into consideration if you've had 10-second views, 30-second views, 1-minute views, or all the way through. For example, at one point during this live, we had 6 viewers. Okay? We've got 1 or 2 that stay on pretty steady, but Facebook is going to show all those viewers that they were viewers. But not all of them stayed on the whole time. And that's fine. Maybe they're at a doctor's office. Maybe they, got things on the go. And that's why we do these. And Facebook allows your lives to stay up for 30 days still. As most of the time you get repeat viewers and you get people that watch the replays. But if you just play it over and over and over again, it used to work. It did. It used to work. You'd get paid on it. It doesn't no more. Facebook no longer, they've clued in. We're not paying you on the replays because, you guys are replaying your own stuff. Way too much. The click-through rate is even bigger. So that's what tells you if they have actually watched the whole thing. If you're doing a carousel, did they click through each graphic in the carousel, or did they just see it once and go, not of interest? Organic increases your follower count. Hands down, that's the metric that you're looking for. All your posts, guys, you can see if it's coming from a follower or from a non-follower. It's in your back office as long as you have the professional dashboard. And that's what you want to look for, because you want to see, is my post getting out to people that aren't my friends? They're not my family. They're not people I talk to all the time. And if your stuff isn't going out to non-followers, that's showing that you've got a stagnant business, because in business, we always need to have new people. Follower, now as far as follower counts, they're saying follower count is your total number of followers. Now, let's get real. You can have 300 followers, and out of those 300 followers have 100 customers, right? You can have 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 followers, and if you've still only got 10 or maybe even 100 clients or customers, what's the point of all those followers? They're not actively getting your message out. So that's why, when it comes to followers, yes, it's important to get followers and people, but personally, I would rather have a smaller follower base and more clients and customers than a higher follower base that expects me to shake my tushy on camera, which is never going to happen, just so y'all know. To get more likes and comments and followers.
Come on,
why
Nick.
are people following you? Right? Are people following
It could
you?
work.
It could work.
I
We
mean,
can take our tushies. It could
right?
work. I know.
I might lose a few followers, but you know what I mean? The reality is, guys, if you have to shake your tushy on camera to gain those followers, they are not following you to do business with you.
Well,
They're not.
They might be.
Well, depending on your
Well,
business.
different kind of business.
OnlyFans is huge. Lots of people make money. I've been told I got cute little toes. So there have been days that I'm like, okay. But the reality is, guys, if that's what you got to do to grow your audience and it has nothing to do with your business, then it's not helping your business. It's considered a vanity metric. Total impressions of your post can be skewed because that can be someone swiped right past it on your newsfeed, right? It can be someone spent a minute. You don't know. So those aren't really true metrics. Those fall more under the vanity metric insight. So you can look at all your insights. You can check them weekly. You can check them daily. You can see your numbers going up. Sometimes you'll see your numbers going down. But it's important to understand which each of those metrics mean and what is actually going to translate into new clients, new customers, and get your message out there.
So, Nikki, I have a question for you.
Yes,
when
ma'am.
we do our Facebook stories, and you keep, how many posts should we put up there in a story?
So with that, it kind of depends. If you're doing talking head, which is when you go on and you kind of go live on your stories, you can easily do 2 or 3 in a row, right? Because you're not going to get, a lot of times you're not going to get your message out in that 10 or 20 seconds that Facebook's going to allow. So you can do a couple of talking heads, maybe do a static post or 2. I know personally, if your line and all your tickers across the top are like 15 or 20 long, I'm not watching it. I'm not. Now, I have watched some that were all talking head, and someone was live in their stories and they were walking around a museum or something like that, where it was like a little bit of a come with me kind of day. Those you can get some activity and it's not people just forward. I don't go live about topics like this because it would take way too many snapshots, right? If you're running an event, if you're like you did with your webinar, hey guys, just coming on here to let you know, I'm really excited for tonight's live. If you want an invite, come and join me. Sometimes that takes 2 or 3 stories. Then follow up with the information, right? And that's a big thing. If you're going to promise somebody that I'm going to go live at Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you don't, it's fine if you're 5 or 10 minutes late. I mean, the day that we get this straight talk out right exactly at 1 o'clock, I think we should have like party balloons and the whole 9 yards, because that's just not our thing, right? So we're
No.
going live right around 1 o'clock-ish Mountain Standard, or 2 o'clock-ish Central Time. It's when we get our poop in a group and we hit that record button. But go live. Do what you say you're going to do. I mean, we've made the decision that this is getting streamed onto our podcast now. So, yes, by midnight Friday, it is going to be live on Spotify. Period. Point blank, end of story. If something happens and we got to record this and I'm in a vehicle on the side of the road, guess what, guys? I'm pulling over and I'm posting it to Spotify before the end of the night. Those kind of things really tell your audience that they can trust you. Because if they can trust you with those things, they can trust you with bigger things. So, and the same comes through with stories. If you tell, because I've seen it quite a few times, people get onto this whole truth bombs and everything else. We saw it a lot when certain companies closed doors and they were 15 and 20, 30 long storylines. I didn't watch them. If you're posting, another thing, if you're in network marketing, and this has been a bane of my existence for years, and it's why I've never done it, you have amazing graphics from your upline. You have amazing graphics from corporate. Maybe you pay for VA services and you get them from there. Tweak them a little bit, and not just a sticker, right? If it's the same
Personalize
song,
it. That's what I was talking about earlier. Make it personal to you.
And don't post them back to back. If it doesn't have to be posted today, maybe post it tomorrow, right? Now, if it's a sale or whatever, you can very easily add a filter, add some different stickers, change the music, because, you see it, people will see it. If they're friends of multiple reps or multiple pages, or you're posting it on your personal plus your business page and everything else, and you have followers that are watching you on your personal and your business page, and maybe, this page or that page, very, very quickly, your story feed, if they're posted back to back, is that exact same graphic. We've seen it twice today. Just today. I've seen it multiple times this past week. Mm-hmm. Timing is everything. Because if I see it from RG and then I see the exact same graphic from Shannon, well, by the time I've seen Shannon, I'm closing out of stories, because I know there's like 10 other people in my news feed that sell that same thing. And I'm not here for it today. And I'll go and do something else with my day. It's about attracting your audience and keeping them there. The forward button doesn't do anything for your algorithm. You want people to watch it all the way through. Use good songs that reflect you. Okay? They again, everything you do has to reflect you and your brand. If you're big on country music, play country music in your reels, right? Just because a certain song goes viral, if it has nothing to do with your brand, or it's not something you personally would play blasting in your car or off your deck at a barbecue, why are you playing it? I mean, if anybody ever saw me play Daddy Shark, please feel free to come and attempt to kick me. It doesn't belong in my house, and if I ever posted a reel with it, there's something not quite right, because that isn't me. Yeah. Like, I would probably bend over to let the shorter people in my world have easy access. Okay? I'm just saying.
Wow. Okay.
Good to know. Good to know there, Shannon. We got you, Nikki.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, it really comes down to authenticity. And if you're not being authentic in every aspect of your business and how you're showing up on social media, how are people going to know who you are in real life? I mean, one of the best compliments I had was I had a lady walk up to me in the grocery store after I lost my Facebook account. I had never met her face to face, but I knew the name and I knew the photo, and Facebook actually allowed me to send her a friend request because she's local. And she came up to me in the grocery store and she's like, I'm really sorry you lost your Facebook account, but I'm really glad you added me on the new one. And I'm like, she's like, you don't know who I am, do you? And I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I don't. Guys, I was there with my hair in a hat. I was in farm girl, muscle shirt, ripped jeans, probably flip-flops, not a stitch of makeup, not a stitch of jewelry. And she picked me out of the store. And she came up and said, you know, I just wanted to say hi and actually introduce myself. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe people do know who I am.
And
Because I was
that's
30
not
minutes from home.
that's not vanity metrics.
No.
So
So that's what you want.
let me just point out something. The three of us couldn't be more authentic right here because look, we all let our hair down. We all put our jewelry on today. Now, I can't say I put makeup on, but hey,
Yeah.
nails painted.
Me
So,
neither.
Got my nails done.
we're about as real as it gets right here.
And the reality is that after we're done going live, I'm going to take the earrings off and my hair is going to go back up into a bun.
Yeah.
And I might go weed whack or, whatever. And actually, no, I'm going to go post this on Spotify. That's what I'm going to do right afterwards. But, the reality is, guys, is yes, you can show up and you can show up business. You can put the jewelry on because you want to look good. We actually recommend it because there's that little boost that you give yourself when you take that 10 minutes to make yourself look good and in your eyes. Don't do it for everybody else. Okay? There's going to be straight talks that you're going to see me and I'm going to look like I was just out baling hay or something stupid like that, because you never know, I probably was. There might
Me
be days
too.
that I'm showing. I mean, I've showed up lives and I'm like, and I get the message, you want to take the grease off your face? And I've got face wipes here and I'm like, oh crap, really? Like, I'm filthy. Let's do it. I've done it on the highway. My husband had to pull over in a parking lot and try to entertain the chihuahuas while I'm live on camera. I've got my laptop precariously on the dash going, don't fall, don't fall. I've got my phone's Bluetooth going. I got all the things going just to go live. But that's real life. I'm not always going to be in my beautiful office with my fancy gifts from Papa Santa there. And RG won't be either. And I'm sure Shannon won't be either because we know that girl likes to go mud bogging. I'm just saying. I'm waiting for the day she shows up with a face full of mud, hair everywhere going, hey guys, off her side by side. It could happen, and I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it.
I don't pay for my mud facials. I just go to the bush.
You notice she didn't say anything about me because she didn't know how I might show up.
We never know.
I've seen some of the hats. I've seen some of the stuff, and I mean, I'm here for it. 100%. I'm here.
We're all here for it.
We're the 3 Ps in the pod.
Yes,
absolutely,
we absolutely are. So yeah, guys, the biggest thing I think we want you guys to take home this week is really be authentic to you. Be authentic in your legacy. Be authentic in your branding. Be authentic on how you show up, not just on social media, but in real life too. It's really important that you show. I saw a meme, quick spicy brain moment. I saw a meme that said, take it easy on the filters, ladies, because if you go missing, we want to be able to find you. Right?
I love that.
You want people to see you on the side of the road and say, hey, are you so-and-so? Be you. Be you in your quirky nature. If you're, if you live in high-end stuff, by all means, Be high end. If you're flashy in real life, be flashy. If you're laid back in ball cap and messy mom bun, show up in a mom bun. If you're a PJs at the office and you just change out the shirt because you're going to be on camera, do so, right? But be you. And that's where you're going to find your authentic audience that's going to want to work with you authentically.
Absolutely.
So, anything else you ladies want to add today?
I
This
would
one's
just
gone a
like
little
to
long.
say again, this is a safe, open place. We will discuss anything with you. No topic is off limits. If you have an idea that you'd like us to cover or discuss, please send us a message and we'll happily take it on.
Absolutely.
See?
All right, guys.
Have a great Friday.
Have a great weekend. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.